Alright, hello everyone. We're back. Hole number 7 here that we're going to be setting up our bag for. And what I usually try to do here is hop it off of the island on the left here and bounce it into the second fairway. Now, depending on the wind, that could be very challenging for limited curl clubs. Ooh, with that wind, I'm half tempted to go right here. So if you go this way, which is my normal way, you will be faced with a crosswind for your approach. I don't usually go right. It's a little bit tougher angle. Not to mention, on top of the angle, there's quite a bit more elevation for your second shot. So it's one of the biggest reasons that I usually hit this shot. You know, this is my most common way to go. I'm not going to deter you guys from doing it. It's still going to be makeable, but you can see with that pin moving up there that it's straight sideways. So with that side wind, you're always going to have a little bit more challenging of a shot. However, if I go this way, in fact, I don't know if I can just get aggressive and curl it over to that other side or not. I might not be able to. It's close. It's very close. What I'm going to try to do is something a little different. I don't even really know the ring adjustment for this. I'm going to move maybe about 13 or so. Just going to try. Didn't get it off. I'll try to redo that with a little bit more time. I guess, you know, it's not important that, well, it probably is important because I might not get the pitch for you guys. If I don't hit the fairway on this next one, then I'm not going to have a pitch for you guys on this video with that timeout. But I don't see any other way, statistically, with a weak driver, me easily getting it over towards that other side. I was kind of sizing up the bounds. I don't have very much curl on my driver with what I brought, but I'd really like to get to that last fairway. Of course, you could always just lay up and hit it to the very edge of this fairway right here. But I do highly recommend, if at all possible, that you can make it to that other side, that you make it to the other side. So what I'm going to try to do is very limited top spin. You know, I'm not really worried about that too much. I'll go relatively full, and you can also see where I'm starting. You know, I'm trying to play the wind off the left of my bullseye, and then I'm only moving about 8 rings from there. And I'm going to go relatively full here. I could have got that off, but at the last second decided that I wanted to try to hit it a little bit harder. Oh, it looks like I made it. Oh. So that's the first time I've tried that hook. It looks like I pulled it off. That's very similar to what I was going to do first, but I started to back off of the power. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have timed out. I was starting to forget, you know, mid-swing. I was like, do I need to go full here? And so you saw me back off. But thankfully I hit the fairway. Otherwise, you know, I would have pitched out for the fairway. But here you can just see how straightforward this is actually going to be. So here you can see there's min club. This is as far as I can drive it, mind you. So if I go any farther, I'm going to have to do if I drive it any farther than this, I'm going to have to do a back spin shot, which might not come back. So do keep that in mind when setting up your shot. Also keep in mind that I'm going to go about min club here for my ring adjustment, which is going to be, for me, right at 2 rings. So right here is going to be my ring adjustment. Here it just bumps up, hits the pin. Oh, coming in a little too hot. But there you can see how easy that's going to be. You know, if I just tweak that backspin just slightly, you know, 3.5 bars, it really didn't need much. That was a very actually unlucky break because it wasn't coming in fast to begin with. So for it to actually get a break like that, a little unlucky, but you can just see how easy that's going to be. Keep in mind that I hit it as far as I could to still have that thorn. So honestly, you know, you have to barely creep it up into that other fairway. And, you know, it's going to be one of those consistency type things as well, where you might not be able to, you know, drive it like that every time, especially with a full curl hook like that. And, you know, it might run through differently, be very dependent upon fairway bounces. But keep in mind, you know, I used about 13 rings for my Extra Mile 5. If you want to know kind of the methodology about what I was doing, I'm playing the left of my bullseye, and I'm also playing the wind off of the side of it. So if you want to go back and replay what I just did, I'm playing off the left of the bullseye there, and I'm visualizing the wind playing about 3 rings off the left edge. So you'll see me play about 3 rings from the edge of the rough, which looks like the left of my bullseye is in the middle of the fairway. And then, you know, this accounts for already 5 rings wind, because you can see where I'm aiming, but I'm playing off the left of the bullseye. So playing off the left of the bullseye here basically lets me already pre-move 5 rings, which makes for faster adjustments. In addition to that, you'll see me move half a target, and then you'll see me move an additional 3 rings on top. So all in all, in terms of my net movement there, you know, I only had to move 8 rings. So that's one of the advantages to playing the left of the bullseye and the wind at the same time. So that's basically my initial setup, already factored in the wind, and it already factored in those 5 extra rings. So that makes me have to go 8 less rings of movement just by being able to visualize that. So that's the way that I do it, and it saves you, you know, you can do it a lot faster when you already have that accounted for and don't actually have to make precise movements for that. So in any regard, you know, good luck with that hole, guys, and be on the lookout with hole number 8 coming up.